Hey guys, this is week 42 of my project, and these are my words. And I've been asked to talk a little bit about rejection and heartbreak. And I think everyone in the world has had their share of rejection and heartbreak, because it's very easy for us to create ideas of who we love or who we want to be with. And then it's also equally possible for those people to not reciprocate. And I think that can be very tricky when you're in that feeling and you're feeling like you're being rejected. But I also think what's really interesting to look at is this idea of rejecting ourselves. Because even more than someone else, setting you aside and saying that they're not interested, which is totally fine. There's so many people in this world that it's fine for lots of them not to like you, and it's fine for lots of them not to want to be around you or your energy or who you are or what you're putting out into the world. We don't like everyone, so why should everyone like us? But I think this idea of rejecting oneself is something that we should all look at and examine, because it's very hard. We want someone's attention and they're busy doing something and they can't give us their attention. We feel rejected. We put our love onto someone and they don't reciprocate. We feel rejected. But what about when we reject ourselves? And how do we go about rejecting ourselves? Are we comparing ourselves to other people in magazines or sports or news or television? Are we comparing ourselves to people that we come in contact with, coworkers, peers, friends? And then what do we do to ourselves? Do we beat ourselves up mentally, internally, and say that we're not good enough, or we're not pretty enough, or we're not thin enough, or we're not in shape enough? Or what is it that we do? And how does that actually affect us? Because I think when we accept ourselves and we love who we are, it doesn't hurt as much when someone else doesn't accept us, because we recognize the worth and the value and the amazing qualities that we're bringing into the world. And if they're not up to par to catch what we're putting out into the world, then we don't actually need them. And so I like this idea of trying to examine the rejection that we do to ourselves, and trying to look at that and trying to find ways to not reject ourselves and not measure ourselves up to someone else, but only measure ourselves up to ourselves. Because I think we all become much happier when, instead of stats that we're comparing to other people or milestones in someone else's life, we look at our own life and we look at what we create and who we are and the choices that we make, and we accept that. And that acceptance, the opposite of rejection towards oneself, is such a sense of self-love that it doesn't really matter to us anymore if someone else is just not into us. Because you know what? Plenty of people are not going to be into you. Plenty of people are not into me. Plenty of people have rejected me. I've had my heart broken. People have broken up with me. People have told me they hate me. And you know what? That's totally fine, because in the scheme of things, I don't like everyone, and I wouldn't want to be with everyone. And so therefore, I would be doing my own rejecting of others. Why shouldn't others reject me? But the most important thing is that I accept who I am and you accept who you are. And then it doesn't matter who rejects you or who accepts you, because you accept you, and you can ultimately be the happiest. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next week, I'm having a post on Thursday because we're heading out of town. And then there's going to be 2 weeks off, even though I'm still going to be writing my words, and I think it's going to be too difficult for me to post because we're going to be in Europe. Woo! But then I will post again on the 2nd later in the day. All right. Happy holidays. I'll see you guys next week. Talk to you soon. Bye.